We are studying chapter number 6 of Science 1, which is refraction of light. We will continue studying that chapter and we will try finish that chapter now in this session. Our focus today will be on two other phenomena that are explained in the chapter, that are dispersion and internal reflection. Remember, this chapter has three distinct phenomena described. Refraction of light, dispersion of light, and internal reflection of light. And I told you in the beginning that refraction, dispersion, internal reflection, they are related to each other. And at the foundation of all three, it is refraction. It is the bending of light. Refraction is a specific case, dispersion is a specific case of refraction. Internal reflection is another specific case of refraction. So let us not think that they are completely different. They are related to each other. So we will study like this today. First, we will answer some questions just to ensure that we have understood refraction and we remember refraction. Then we will try understand dispersion. Then we will look at internal reflection. We will look at two types of internal reflection, partial and total. Partial and total. Finally, we will combine refraction, dispersion, and internal reflection to understand how rainbows are formed. This is what we are going to do in the class now. If you remember better and if you have completed your homework, only one question in the exercise remains unanswered. And that question is about the rainbows. And I had told you in the beginning that this chapter has very few questions at the end of the chapter in the exercise, but there can be more questions because there are multiple things explained here. Real life situations, theoretical, the theory about refraction, dispersion, and internal reflection. So there can be many questions. So it is important that you make your notes properly. And with that, let us start the revision. 5 questions will come to your screen one by one. Answers will not be coming onto your screen. When you see the question, please type the answer in the chat or raise your hand to speak. First question. When light travels from a rarer to denser medium, in which direction does it bend? Rarer to denser medium. Speak or type. Rarer to denser medium. Yes, Prachi, correct answer. Waiting for others. Then refer to the textbook. When light travels from rarer to denser medium, in which direction does it bend? Yesterday, the same question I had asked in the form of a fill in the blank. And the fill in the blanks was taken directly from the textbook. So it was very easy for you. Today, I made it more generic. Chand, correct answer. Alfia, wrong answer. The correct answer is when light travels from rarer to the denser medium, it bends towards the normal. When we say direction, we have to tell is taraf. Aman, wrong answer. If you say that the answer is normal, that's wrong answer. It doesn't say anything to me. But when we say it bends towards the normal, it says, हाँ, normal की तरफ bend करता है. If we don't say towards the normal, our answer is wrong. It's not just incomplete, it is wrong. It reflects that either we don't know English or we are using English wrongly. Okay. Next question. When light travels from denser to rarer medium, in which direction does it bend? Correct, Chand? Correct, Prachi? Correct, Aman? Correct, Karina? Karthik is saying it. The direction it bends is south. No, absolutely wrong. A very bad answer, but that answer tells me that you haven't understood. I've not been able to explain to you. Even if you looked at the previous question and heard the answer, then the second question was easy. Anushka is saying it bends to the left. Once again, Anushka, we are not talking about left, right, east, west, north, south. Karthik and Anushka think, is your left same as my left? Why will always light bend towards the south? Does it make any sense? When correct answer is when light travels from denser to rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. Opposite. Opposite to the answer to the first question. When light travels from rarer to denser, it bends towards the normal. Normal की तरफ bend होता है. And when the light travels from denser to rarer, its bending happens in the opposite direction. That means not towards the normal, but away from the normal. Third question, fill in the blanks. Refractive index of a medium is dash proportional to its density of the medium. Refractive index is dash proportional to density of the medium. Aman, there is nothing in maths which is called parallel proportional to. Chand, correct answer. Prachi, wrong answer. Prachi, now it is correct, of course. Whenever we see the word proportional, there are only two options. Either it will be directly proportional or it will be inversely proportional. Directly proportional would mean that if the density is more, refractive index is more. If the density is less, the refractive index is less. That will be direct proportion. Inverse proportion would mean if the density is more, the refractive index will be less. If the density is less, the refractive index will be more. And we know that the denser the medium is, the light bends more. That means refractive index is more. That means refractive index is directly proportional to density of the medium. Refractive index is directly proportional to density of the medium. That is why We were discussing in the last class why we see the pencil bending, the coin rising up, the mirage. Why does it appear to us that the things beyond a fire, they are oscillating, vibrating? Why the stars twinkle? Because the refractive index of the atmosphere is not constant, it changes. Next question. Stars appear to be dash than they actually are. Stars appear to be dash than they actually are. And we are not talking about north, south, east, west, left, right. Prachi, improve your answer. These answers are there in the textbook. If only you read, if only you read, that's enough. Just read with a dictionary. Yes, Anushka, correct answer. Stars appear to be higher than they actually are. Stars appear to be higher than they actually are. Very good, Chan. That's the exact answer I was looking for. Aman, you are saying stars appear to be apparent position than they actually are. Once again, you have given an answer which tells me that the understanding of English is not there, and no attempt has been made to understand the basic sentences that are written in the textbook. Stars appear to be higher than they actually are. वो जितने ऊंचे नहीं हैं, हमको लगता है कि स्टार्स जितने वो ऊंचे हैं हमसे, उससे भी ज्यादा वो ऊंचे हमको लगते हैं. That is what it's saying. So Prachi, when you said far, yes, I understand why you said that, but let us say higher. That is better. And the last question. Why do planets not twinkle? Stars twinkle, but planets do not twinkle. Why? No, Chan, wrong answer. Correct, Prachi. So last question. Chan's the previous question number 3. Chan gave the correct answer. Prachi gave the wrong answer. Question number 5. Chan is wrong. Prachi is right. Why do planets not twinkle? Karthik, correct. Prachi and Karthik, correct. Just the light that reflects from the planets and reaches us, that also refracts in our atmosphere. Of course, that also refracts. But the planets are so much closer to us than the stars that that refraction is not clear to us. We cannot detect, our eyes cannot detect that refraction. Our eyes cannot detect that bending of light. That is why to us, the planets appear not to be twinkling. Our eyes cannot detect that twinkling. of the planets. They twinkle, but we cannot detect. So we say planets do not twinkle. Let us now jump into the first of the two concepts that we are going to study today, which is dispersion. Dispersion of light. Dispersion of light. Dispersion in general, if you look at the dictionary, it will say something to the effect to dissolve, फैल जाना, खो जाना, चले जाना. Gather means इकट्ठा होना. Disperse means चले जाना. Assembly, when in the school example, when students come together for the morning assembly, when they stand in specific queues for each of the class, that is called gathering. And when the assembly, when the prayer is over, then the students go back to their classrooms. That means they disperse, वो फैल जाते हैं. So dispersion of light relates to that. How light also spreads, light also distributes. That is what dispersion is about. But of course, light is not people standing in a queue. Light is something else. Remember, we have said that light is defined in two different ways. The particle theory of light says light consists of photons. Light consists of particles which are called photons. The wave theory of light says that light consists of waves, electromagnetic waves. And we have studied earlier, when we studied waves and when we studied light, that light consists of radiations of various different frequencies and wavelengths. सिर्फ एक ही फ्रीक्वेंसी का इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक रेडिएशन उसमें नहीं होता, सिर्फ एक ही वेवलेंथ का इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक रेडिएशन उसमें नहीं होता. लाइट कंसिस्ट ऑफ radiations of many different frequencies and wavelengths. Many. If you remember from class 9, we said that velocity of light or velocity of a wave equals to lambda nu. Velocity of light depends on wavelength lambda and the frequency nu. This is what we have. That means if the velocity depends on both the frequency and the wavelength. If the light consists of different wavelength, radiations of different wavelengths and different frequency, that means parts of light are traveling at different velocities. When the light is traveling in vacuum, vacuum for all practical reasons is empty. The density we can consider 0. Because of that, the velocity of all the component radiations of light in vacuum is same. 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. But when light passes through a particular medium whose density is more than the density of vacuum, that is, it is more than 0, then that density affects the velocity of different radiations differently. And because of that, the different radiations that make up the light, they bend by different amounts. Some will bend less and some will bend more. And bending of light when passing from one medium to another medium is called refraction. That means when light passes from vacuum to another medium of different density, the different components of light will refract by different amounts. Because light is not one thing, light consists of radiations of different wavelengths and frequencies. Geometry box का स्केल निकालो, अपने आंखों के सामने रखो, उससे देखो आगे सामने. You will start seeing colors. Do it now, confirm. और अगर पहले किए हो याद है तो confirm. So when the moment we remove the scale from in front of our eyes, everything looks normal. वन कलर, बट अगर हम स्केल के थ्रू से देखते हैं तो हमको अलग अलग कलर दिखने लगते हैं. That is happening because of dispersion. So what exactly is happening in dispersion? Let us turn to the textbook and understand. Textbook, page number 77. The textbook page must be visible to you now. The example here that is being taken is that of a prism, and this experiment was first done by, again, our hero of physics, Sir Isaac Newton. He is the person who first saw how the sunlight is not just one radiation, it is consisting of different lights of different wavelengths or frequencies. So when the sunlight passes through a prism, prism is a very simple object of three sides of glass. Because of the difference in the density of the air and glass, the light refracts. And because different components, different radiations of the light refract by different amount, on the other side of the prism, light is not together. Now it is split. It has dispersed. The white light has dispersed into its constituent colors. And these are the colors of the rainbow. Short form is VIBGYOR, VIBGYOR. Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Why is, when you look at this diagram, it is very clear. Let us see if it is very clear or not. Tell me which color light is bending the most and which color light is bending the least. Which is bending the most? Sandhya is saying green is bending the most. No. Which is bending the most?
Violet.
Yes, correct. Tushar, Karthik, Sandhya, now correct. And which color light is bending the least? सबसे कम कौन bend कर रहा है? Red. You see here, the light was supposed to go, if it was traveling straight, तो जो arrow दिया है उधर जाता. Red थोड़ा सा bend किया. Violet सबसे ज्यादा bend किया. So it is very clear violet bends the most. And the reason is violet's frequency is highest. Violet's frequency, the frequency of the violet light is more highest in the VIBGYOR range, and the wavelength of red light is the highest. They are inverse. The frequency of the violet light is most out of these 7 colors, and its wavelength is least out of these 7 colors, whereas the frequency of red light is least of these 7 colors, and its wavelength is most highest of these 7 colors. VIBGYOR. There is an interesting question that is asked in the textbook, and we will try to discuss. Suppose we want to, now the light has split. It has split into different components. There are some components which is visible to us, उसको हम कहते हैं visible range. तो visible range का light हमको दिखता है, split into violet, indigo, VIB, GYOR. But there is other light also which has dispersed that we cannot see. That's a separate thing. Now what can we do? हम एक और प्रिज्म यूज करके क्या हम ऐसा कर सकते हैं कि ये जो लाइट जो डिस्पर्स हो गया है वो जुड़ जाए? क्या करने से ऐसा होगा? गेस करो, हो जाएगा. क्या करने से होगा? अगर हमको फैन चलाना होता है तो हम स्विच ऑन करते हैं, फैन बंद करना होता है तो स्विच ऑफ करते हैं. किसी स्क्रू को खोलना होता है तो हम उसको एंटी क्लॉकवाइज घुमाते हैं. If we have to tighten a screw, we turn it clockwise. Now we have dispersed the light using a prism. How can we make them together, bring them together? Any guesses? Chand is saying immerse the light. I did not understand. Yes, Tushar, we will use two alternative prisms. Yes, correct. So अभी ये जो prism से light बाहर निकला है, if we pass that light through another prism, उल्टा रख के, दूसरा prism इसके side में, right hand side में उल्टा रख देंगे, then these 7 different colors will enter the prism at different angles. They will bend by different amounts, and then on the other side they will come out together as white light. Very interesting. Another interesting thing is not all the light that we see is like this. And very prime example, आजकल पैसे to reduce the consumption of power, we don't use, पहले पुराने जमाने में bulb use करते थे. Then we came across, we started using the tube lights. Right? Then we came across what are those called? CFCs. And now we have LED lights. Now LED lights will not do this. They will not undergo this phenomenon because LED light का जो light होता है वो इस range में नहीं होता. उसका frequency, उसका wavelength इस range में नहीं होता. That is why it will not disperse. Also LED light का जो component होता है, that is only one. It emits light in only one frequency, one wavelength, not different. But in case of natural light, it consists of radiations of different frequencies and wavelengths. These are the two questions which are asked as part of use your brain power. Let us now look at the second concept. Now imagine that there is a water body, whether it is a lake or ocean or just a tank or a tub of water. Imagine a water body. So it will have water till some level, and after that there will be air. So there will be a boundary, there will be a surface which will separate the medium of air from the medium of water. Now imagine a source of light. या तो नीचे टॉर्च जल रहा है, कोई लाइट जल रहा है, और we are trying to see something which is inside the water, and we will be able to see something inside the water only when light reflects from it or light emits from it and comes to us. There is no exception to how do we see. We can see something if and only if some light comes from that object, reaches us. If that doesn't happen, we will not be able to see it. Now suppose that object that we are trying to see, object or light source, whichever way you can call it, is here on the bottom left. We are trying to see above the water. So there are some different rays of light that are coming out of it. Now when the ray of light is coming straight up, now the angle of incidence at this point is 0, and because here the angle of incidence is 0, there will not be any refraction. The light ray will go straight. It's clear using the concept of refraction. The third diagram that we saw earlier. Please confirm that this is clear. Otherwise, I'll show you that diagram. That diagram is on page number 75, bottom of the page. We are on page number 78 now, last page of the chapter, of the theory of the chapter. Now, what if the incident ray, the light ray which is coming from this source or this object is not perpendicular to the surface? It will be somewhere like here, maybe. Now, at this point, the angle of incidence is not 0, and because it is not 0, and because now the light will travel from water to air, denser to rarer. And today morning we revised north, north, south, left, right, up and down. When the ray of light, when light travels from denser to rarer, it moves away from the normal. So this dotted line is the normal. It is moving away from the normal. मान लो the angle of incidence is higher, so I1 is more than I. So it will bend even more, R1. है ना, धीरे धीरे बढ़ता जाएगा. Initially, first case that we are considering is I is equal to 0. When I equals to 0, no bending, go straight. When I is not 0, it is a little bit more than 0, then our angle of refraction will be more than the angle of incidence because the ray is bending away from the normal. As we increase the angle of incidence, माने हम जितने और दूर का देखेंगे, there will be a point जहां पर कि the light will bend so much on refraction that it will be perpendicular to the normal, that it will be parallel to the surface, which is this situation. And if we increase the angle of incidence, if we are at a situation where this angle of incidence is even more than IC, then it will bend so much कि बाहर कुछ निकलेगा ही नहीं, सब तो अंदर ही आ जाएगा, रिफ्रैक्ट हो जाएगा, because it is bending so much from the normal. So in one extreme situation where I is equal to 0, everything goes out. Not everything goes out. It never everything goes out. Some light always is reflected back, whether it is this situation, whether this is I situation, I1 situation, or IC situation, some light is always reflected back. Because it acts as a surface. Whenever light hits the surface, some of it is always reflected back. Even glass is not perfectly transparent. Something is always reflected back. But most of it passes on to the other medium, depending on how transparent the medium is. Because some of it is reflected back, it is called partial internal reflection. कुछ light reflect हो रहा है और denser medium के अंदर ही रह जाता है. It is called partial internal reflection. But if the angle of incidence is big enough, large enough, then not some light, all of the light will be reflected. It will be reflected and it will be refracted, and nothing will go out of the surface of the water. That is called total internal reflection. The reason is same. Whether it is I equals to 0, I is greater than 0, or I is greater than IC, there is refraction, there is reflection. In most cases, there is some reflection, some refraction. On the case on the left hand side, extreme left, there is no refraction, सीधा चला जाता है. And the case on the right hand side, there is no, we can say, there is nothing, like no light is going out, everything is coming back. So we will say, and the reason is both reflection and refraction, and we will call it total internal reflection. Pura light andar aa jata hai. Now this measure of angle, this IC, for which the refracted ray is perpendicular to the normal, that is when the measure of IC for which R equals to 90 degree is called, this IC is called the critical angle. And if the angle of incidence is more than the critical angle, then we have the phenomenon of total internal reflection. This is one of the reasons why we are not able to see कि पानी के एकदम नीचे क्या है, कितना है, देखने में हमको दिक्कत होती है, because part of the light is reflected, partial internal reflection, whatever may be the angle. And if we see it at a different angle, अगर हम बहुत तिरछा देखेंगे, पानी के अंदर देखने की कोशिश करेंगे, तो हमको नहीं दिखेगा कुछ भी. और ये हमने देखा होगा, if we have gone near a well or something, अगर हम दूर से देखेंगे कि कुएं में क्या है, कुएं के पानी में क्या है, हमको नहीं दिखेगा, सिर्फ हमको surface दिखेगा, because we are experiencing this phenomenon, total internal reflection. लेकिन जब हम एकदम कुएं के ऊपर आ जाएंगे, उसमें झांक के देखेंगे, देन वी विल बी एबल टू सी कि कुएं के नीचे हाँ शायद कुछ पत्थर है। या फिर अगर हम मंदिरों में जाते हैं या फिर ऐसे रिलीजियस प्लेसेस में जाते हैं जहाँ पे सिक्के डालते हैं लोग, अगर हम दूर से देखेंगे तो हमको पता नहीं चलेगा उसके अंदर क्या है, बिकॉज टोटल इंटरनल रिफ्लेक्शन। लेकिन जब हम उसको पास जाके देखेंगे, देन वी विल बी एबल टू सी कि उसके अंदर भी क्या है। In the textbook, below this explanation of what total and partial internal reflection is, this 1 and 2 is wrong. It should have been 2 and 1. And here the medium 2 is air. The medium 1 is water. Same thing here. 2 and 1. Whenever we say we see sine I by sine R, by Snell's law, sine I by sine R is the refractive index of the second medium with respect to the first medium. So 2 and 1. This is printing mistake. Correct it. When R equals to 90 degree, for when we do that, when we find the refractive index, for that when we calculate I, so sine 90 is equal to 1. So that means when our sine I equals to the refractive index, this angle is our critical angle. This angle is our critical angle. This is what it means. Once again, dispersion of light is the process of separation of light into its component colors while passing through a medium. That medium can be prism, that medium can be any other medium. Be careful. Okay, similarly, we can define total internal reflection where, how do we define? When all the light gets reflected back into the dense medium, that is called total internal reflection. And that happens when angle of incidence is more than the critical angle. Total internal reflection is when all the light gets reflected back to the denser medium. This happens when angle of incidence is more than the critical angle. Finally, the most interesting thing, how rainbows are formed. Remember though, rainbows are not formed all the time. We don't get rainbows when it is very cold. We don't get rainbows when it is very hot. We get rainbows only in one particular situation. Can you tell me when do we see rainbows? Just by your observation, experience, when do we see rainbows? Do we see rainbows? We see rainbows at particular times. We associate rainbows with another phenomenon, right? Yes, all of you are saying it's related to rain. Yes. Why is it related to rain? It is related to rain. We think that it is related to rain because we have seen rainbows before or after rain. What happens during the rain? Rain is not necessary. What is necessary is water droplets in the air. Even if it is not raining, if there are enough water droplets of enough size are there in the atmosphere and it is not night, it is we have daylight, then a rainbow may be formed. And that rainbow is formed because of refraction, dispersion and total internal reflection. जो तीन चीजें हमने पढ़ी है, refraction, dispersion and total internal reflection. How? Water is different from air and water is denser than air. At least we can say the density of the water is different from the density of the air. So each of the water droplet that is suspended in the air acts as a prism, something like a prism. When the light rays from the sun pass through these water droplets which are there in the air, because different components of light are traveling at different speeds, they will get refracted by different amounts, and they will split. So refraction and dispersion into its component colors. And the colors that we can see with our eyes are 7 colors, VIB, GYOR, 7 main colors. So this is a water droplet on the screen. On one side, on the left hand side, the light ray is entering the water droplet. Refraction happens, refraction of the light rays by different amounts, so it disperses. Now these refracted light rays hit the other surface of the droplet. Just now we saw that there may be total internal reflection. Not in all the cases. Some of the light will experience total internal reflection depending on the angle of incidence. And when it experiences total internal reflection, it will go back. Instead of coming out of the droplet, it will go back to the other side of the droplet. Refraction, dispersion, total internal reflection. And again on this side of the water droplet, light will pass from water to air, from denser to lighter, rarer medium. So it is again spreading. Different light, different rays of light, different components of light are bending by different amounts. So what we have is a rainbow. When there are so many water droplets in the air, then all these water droplets together, they result in the formation of a rainbow. Refraction, total internal reflection, and dispersion. What is required for rainbow formation is light, of course, and water droplets in the air. Agar बारिश हो रही होगी, then the water droplets are falling. We will not be able to see the rainbows that they form. They will be momentary. जैसे कि हमने स्केल हमारे आंखों के सामने रखा तो रेनबो दिखा, जैसे ही हटा दिया हट गया. But if the water droplets are suspended in the air, अगर हवा में झूल रहे हो, then we will have a rainbow. Question number 2, part D in the exercise. It says a rainbow is the combined effect of refraction, dispersion, and total internal reflection of light. We have to prove. That means we have to explain. So when we are explaining this, it helps to draw this diagram. And when you are drawing this diagram in your notebooks, in your answer sheet, to draw a water droplet, you should use a rounder. And to draw the light rays, you should use scale and pencil. You don't need to use pencils of different colors or pens of different colors, not needed. Okay. So you should be able to explain how rainbows are a result of 3 phenomena: refraction, dispersion, and total internal reflection. That, my dear students, is the end of the 7th chapter of Science 1, which is refraction of light.